2025. Welcome back to the Mom Nurse Fashionista. Over here, I talk about all things nurses, remote nursing, everything about the nursing, RN, LPN, medical assistant, CNAs, pharmacy techs, respiratory therapists. If you are ready to work remote and get into this remote world, get into this tech world, I'm your girl. I am Lorna. I have been a nurse for 13 years and I decided to navigate and leave the bedside. Back in 2019, when I was ready to go to nursing school and I was doing private duty care and it was stressful. It was stressful working 12-hour shifts doing private duty care. And I started looking for jobs. And then that's what brought me here, probably brought you to my channel. Was a single mama of four ready to go back to RN school, trying to find a great flexible job while in school. And then I decided, hey, this thing is getting too stressful. I need some regular 8 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 4, 9 to 6, whatever job where I can work during the time my kids are in school. So that's what probably led you to me as well. Maybe you're in nursing school. In 2020, I was given a lot of tips about how to go into nursing school as a mom. I just encouraging you to do that thing, do that job, make sure you hit that goal, right? And so that's why you probably came to my channel. But I am over here because I want to give y'all the tips. I want to give you the blueprint of how to get into remote nursing, how to get into tech as a nurse. Get into tech. It doesn't matter what role you have as a nurse. If you're LPN, if you're RN, it doesn't matter. Even CNAs, okay? Even medical assistants can get into tech. So I had to come over here because, baby, it's 2025. Make sure if you're watching a replay, you can comment replay. You can hit the like button so that YouTube can put this video out and let all the nurses, because I'm trying to help everybody, y'all. So anyway, I just got off an awesome behind call, y'all. Awesome call with a client, and they're also a nurse. They're LPN, and they're looking to get into remote nursing as well as into tech. So if y'all don't know, baby, take it where it's at. Y'all know how everything is going. This is 2025. I have to keep saying that because y'all, we in a new year. And I have to remember, we're in 25. But at any rate, that's where everything is going. I went to an awesome healthcare symposium, y'all, and it was talking about, I got the thing right here. It's an international healthcare symposium with my tech job. I work for a telemedicine job, tech job. Hi, how are you? I am doing awesome. Happy New Year to you. Make sure you hit a like. Give me a like. Happy New Year. Thank you for joining. I hope you find what you need from this video. I think you will. If y'all come in, make sure you hit a like. But I'm talking about how to get into tech as a nurse. And I went to a healthcare symposium. It was everything about tech. It was freaking amazing. It was here at the college here where I'm at in Jacksonville. And it was just really, really nice. So anyway, I so thank you for the like. Thank you so much. So they were talking about, it was different doctors. It was different, hey, it was different doctors talking about how ChatGPT, use the ChatGPT for in the medical world, and how, coding and all this stuff is just gonna, how it's gonna really advance us in tech, how technology is gonna advance us in the medical healthcare world, right? And so I was like, people need to know about this great information. But also, I know y'all been seeing my videos, my shorts of me talking about how to get into tech, right? So if you don't know, I lost my job last year, January. I had shared with y'all how I got the HEDIS job. Y'all know I have my HEDIS class, child. I have my HEDIS class. Hey, y'all. Hey, when you come in, make sure you hit a like. I'm giving y'all these tips and how to get into this remote tech world, okay, as a nurse. And so so last year I was in HEDIS, right? God is so amazing. He is so wonderful. Even when we go through things, thank you for the sub. Even when we go through things in life, y'all, God is so strategic in everything God does. And so I'm big on God. That's so you're gonna hear me talk about God a lot over here. But anyway, when I got my job, I've been talking about HEDIS since 2020. If you've been rocking with me since then, I've been talking about HEDIS since 2019. How to get into HEDIS. I had a HEDIS job in 2020 and my contract got extended. I got laid off from that job. Which hence form all of this right here, helping you get a job, teaching you how to get into remote nursing. Then in January of last year, I got a job in HEDIS. Well, I think so much is going on. My daddy was in the hospital then, so it's like a blur. But I think it was like maybe April is when they let me go for whatever reason. I don't know. It's okay. It's good. So I wasn't working. I wasn't working from then up into July. Wow. That time went by so fast. So that's a long time to not be working, but I was caring for my dad and getting things handled for him. Y'all, the job I'm in now, the tech position I'm in now literally fell into my lap, right? So it's a telemedicine company ran by a doctor who is a two ER doctors, excuse me, two ER doctors, right? And so telemedicine is where it's at. That's one of the easiest ways to get into tech. That is telehealth. Y'all know I talk about telehealth. I have a telehealth nursing video on here that I put out in 2020 because I was like, oh my God, people need to know about telehealth because, you know, the pandemic brought on telehealth, but I was doing telehealth back in 2017. So, um, so I'll give you a little bit about, because there may be a lot of new people on here. I need to do an updated video, but I have been a nurse for 13 years. I am an LPN. I have worked a lot of non-bedside nursing jobs. I work in clinic as a clinical coordinator, as a telehealth nurse. Um, I did HEDIS. I did two different HEDIS positions, two different HEDIS seasons, right? Um, and now I work in telemedicine in tech. That's what I do now. And so that's when I got to this job. And I was telling a couple of people about HEDIS and my background in HEDIS, why I know HEDIS about my class. The lady at the job was like, girl, you need to get into coding. You need coding. We need to put you through a coding class. And I was like, I don't have time for that because I don't like that. I don't into tech. I'm not techie like that. You know what I'm saying? But then she explained to me and I learned, and I've been working with the analytics department. I don't just do a lot of nursing stuff. I do a lot of analytics. I do a lot of stuff, y'all, with this position I'm in. It's amazing. And I was like, I gotta tell the people about this. I gotta tell my people about how they can get into tech and make this money and use their freaking healthcare background and just navigate and elevate in their freaking careers. And that's why I'm here to tell y'all this now. Like, it's freaking amazing. It's freaking dope. If you in here, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you show me some love. Okay, thank y'all. But so that's why I was like, okay, I got to do a video. But anyway, so that HEDIS job ended and I got into this job. And basically this job is a form of a care navigator. That's another entry level position. I am offering remote/tech consultation calls. And that's how I am teaching you in that call. I want to see like if you would be a great fit for me and I'm a great fit for you as a career coach. I'm also a career coach. So if people don't know, I'm a nurse, but I also have a career coaching business, LB Career Coaching. And baby, I'm trying to give you the blueprint and everything. I want to make sure your resume is good. I want to make sure that you understand how to get into these jobs. I want to make sure you understand what to put in your resume, because if you're not understanding what to put in your resume and you're just applying to jobs, that may be why you're not getting calls back. I guarantee you, if you have a call with me, I could show you the experience that you have, how you could get into a tech job. And that's what I do in my consultation call. And then we will go further from that. And I would decide like, okay, maybe you need this experience, or maybe you need to do this in your resume, or maybe you're just confused and you don't quite understand, but you know you want to get somewhere else outside the bedside. Okay, let me teach you and hold your hand. And that's what I do. I hold your hand and I make sure you really, really understand. And that's my blueprint. I just sit down with you the same way you get a blueprint of a house or a building, and I just navigate you through on how to get those interviews, y'all. And that's the way it's said. Y'all better get on it. Y'all better get on it. This is 2025 and it's time. Do y'all have any questions? I know the Herbert was asking me, but I just thought this was so, like, I thought it was just so bomb because a lot of people don't know like all the areas of nursing that we could get into, not just HEDIS. I talk about HEDIS a lot because HEDIS was like one of the first jobs I found out that was non-bedside. Hey, welcome in. It was like one of the first jobs I found out in 2016. I ain't even understand HEDIS. And then a recruiter reached out to me, y'all, in 2019 when I started putting my resume out there. I updated my resume. I made sure my resume reflected the honest, true experience I gained in telehealth and clinical coordination That is what led me to getting my HEDIS job and also getting a lot of other interviews, y'all. I had a lot of interviews in 2019, but it's because I literally sat and I fixed my resume and I made sure it was laid out right. It had a great layout and it was easy to read. And that's what a lot of managers told me in the interviews. They was like, man, your resume was so easy to read. And I was like, okay. And then I started coming on here telling y'all about how to do it. And then in 2020, when I got laid off, I was like, bump this. I'm about to turn this into a job because it's nurses all over the world that need my help. And I have been helping a lot of nurses, y'all. I am just so happy. 2024 was a very hard year. And I and I just pretty much like been focusing on my life. You know, that's why I haven't been on here. I am coming back on here and I'm giving y'all the information. I'm getting back on here slowly but surely. You'll see my shorts, you'll see my videos. But I behind the scenes stuff with my job, with me now being the caregiver, the guardian of my father and stuff like that. But I really, that is my passion, is to help people. As all nurses, we love to help people. But man, I want to help nurses see that we can help our patients. I help my patients every day. I talk to patients all day, every day. And I help them. And I'm not touching them. I'm not putting my hands on them. I am literally from the comfort of my home. Sometimes the comfort of my bed. Sometimes I'm in my car. I mean, I'm literally helping my patients every single day. And it's so much out here. It's so many companies that need us, y'all. And that's why I'm here, to help y'all. Give me a second. I gotta take a drink. It's some nasty stuff going around. I'm kind of stuffy still, but I'm feeling much better. But yeah, so anyway, don't forget to hit a like, y'all. So in the description box, I don't know if it show up on y'all end, but in the description box, I did leave my link so that we could schedule a consult sales call, so that we could talk and figure out where you want to go at in your career, if that's what you're looking for. You don't always have to work remote to do a non-bedside job. There are plenty non-bedside jobs that are not remote. They're in an office. They're 8 to 5, 8 to 4, whatever it is. It depends on the company. I work 8 to 4. I don't take a lunch. I'm at home unless it's something I need to do and I take a lunch. But most of the time I just work straight through 8 to 4. I do talk to clients all day, patients all day on the phone. A lot of people are like, I want a job where I'm not talking on the phone. I honestly don't know what kind of positions those are. I'm sure there are a lot of positions that you can do as a nurse, but as nurses, that's what we do. We have to take care of our patients, man. Like, we have to be there for them. It's not just about passing meds and doing ADLs and stuff like that. Like, you're literally navigating their care. You're literally coordinating their care, making sure they have the things that they need at home in place, making sure they have their medications, making sure their referrals are in place so that they can see these these specialists and everything. You're literally like taking care of them from the comfort of your home, but you have to talk to them. I don't know. I get it. Like, I understand, like, people who are taking care of their kids. I tell my kids, I've been doing some type of remote work since 2017. When I was a telehealth nurse, I had to monitor my patients on the weekend. So, like, I was the telehealth nurse for the home health company. It was, the main company was here where I stayed, and then the surrounding companies. It was 4 other companies and 4 other branches. And I had to monitor all of our patients. And on the weekends, I had to monitor them, but I told my kids, like, hey, I got to call my patient. Let me go in, log into the computer, make sure their vitals looking good. They ain't gained no weight, because it was for CHF patients. They haven't answered no questions about being short of breath or sitting up using pillows throughout the night, or their pulse ox being too low. I monitored COPD and CHF patients in telehealth. And once I talked to them, triaged them over the phone, I was good. I didn't have to work a full 8 hours on the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday, but I still had to monitor them on the weekends. And that's what I did. But I talked to girls like, hey, y'all got to be quiet. And if you don't know, if you're new to my channel, I'm a single mom of 4. I have an older child that's 20 now, but I do have an 11-year-old and 10-year-old twins. So, like, I started this channel because of the stress of having those little kids. And then I'm very inspirational, and I like to inspire others as I'm going through things. But then I kind of got away from that, and I still inspire. Y'all see that all the time. But I started wanting to help nurses with kids, because it is hard. It don't matter if you married or you single. Like, it is really hard out here trying to help, like, trying to work in the medical field, work hours. You got to work holidays. You got to work nights. You got to work weekends. So then I started finding jobs that were like very dope jobs, good paying jobs as a parent in a medical field, as a nurse, basically. I do share jobs now. I've been finding a lot of CNA MA jobs, so I do help with that as well. And pharmacy tech and respiratory tech, I've been finding really dope jobs. remote jobs for them as well. Nurse practitioners too. I had nurse practitioners that email me that find my videos on here. And so I help everybody in the healthcare field. Like if you feel like you're ready to navigate into a different area of nursing, I can help you do that. So that's how all of this came about with my career coaching. And I love it. And I miss y'all. And I'm back. And I'm coming in slowly but surely. But yeah, I thank y'all for y'all prayers of my dad. It's been a really rough year last year. It was something like very unexpected and just fell in our lap, and it just turned our worlds upside down. And so I'm grateful for y'all prayers and for y'all emails and for y'all DMs. Because I'm not active over here. You can find me over on Instagram and TikTok. I'm usually putting up a lot of TikToks because I put up a lot of jobs. Like I found a job this morning. I'll be putting that up over here as well. Talking about it's a RN and an LPN job. It pays really good. It pays up to $54 an hour. I forgot what the name of the position is, y'all. Please get a LinkedIn. I'm not gonna say it enough. Y'all gotta get a LinkedIn. Please get a LinkedIn because LinkedIn is where it's at. I have people reach out to me because of LB career and they want me to find them nurses. I also have people reach out to me because I'm on there for me as a nurse. And baby, that is where it's at. Like the recruit, you can actually like see the person that published the job. Excuse me, you could go down to the bottom of the job description, see the person, and you can connect with them, y'all. You can follow them and you can go into their DMs and you can connect with them. Please, you got to do the work. You got to put yourself out there. Don't be shy. Like in 2025, we just putting ourselves out there and we not being shy and we just doing the doggone thing. I've been talking about this though, not just because it's a new year, but just because you got to do the doggone thing. Like you got to put yourself out there. I have had a lot, y'all. It's a secret, but it's not. Like I have had very good jobs because I just literally put myself out there. It wasn't, I didn't care about no, I'm shy or I'm not, well, not shy, but I'm unsure. Oh, I'm scared. I probably ain't gonna get this job because I do have PTSD from like jobs just letting me go. Like what happened just last year. I got that job and then I worked the whole shift and my recruiter called me and he's like, hey, what happened? They say they're ending your contract. And I was like, what? Y'all, I had just got off the phone with my dad's uncle, my dad's brother, telling him an update about what was going on. I literally when that happened, I had just um was trying to figure out how to get my daddy out of this awful group home he was in for like a weekend. I thought it was going to be a great place to transition him. It was awful. I was on the phone that whole day, like in between doing my HEDIS work, on my lunch break, talking to case managers. I wasn't, so when I got that call, I was like, what else gonna happen? Like, it was nothing. And I figured if God gave me that job, God gave me that job, I did not apply to that job. I did I didn't apply to that job. I literally, like, the recruiter called me, saw I had prior HEDIS experience. And then she was like, okay, are you available for an interview tomorrow? No. And she was like, okay, when are you available for an interview? Y'all, I never sat face to face with a hiring manager. When you do HEDIS interviews, you normally have like 2 interviews. I did not do that. I literally did a phone call, y'all, a phone call with the hiring manager. And she was like, okay, I like you. You're hired. Like, God sent, right? So if God allowed that job to fall in my lap, in December, I did everything. In January, I was hired. And then April, it just ended. I was like, well, it was good when it lasted. Because I had a lot going on. I don't even really remember a lot of things from February to maybe May. It was a lot. It was so heavy, y'all. It was so heavy. So like, and then I'm having to, now I'm playing nurse because I have to put on my nurse hat for my dad to make sure things are getting taken care of him. I was a case manager at the same time. Now I'm have to do all this transitioning from this place to that place, taking him to his appointments once he was discharged from the rehab hospital, making sure he getting things done with the VA. It was a lot going on, y'all. So I was like, well, thank you, God. Then the day that I lost my job, y'all, I literally, no lie, hours before that I got the call of me losing my job, I had got the email that I was approved for a home because when my daddy was in the hospital, I got a call that they was selling the house that we stayed in. So now it was just so much going on. It was so many adversities, so many things against me, and I was like, you know what? this is too much, which I was already having issues with the company I was renting from, but it was dirty the way they did it. And I had to do it in a hurry. Like I had to find something quick. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, oh my God, my lease is ending. I got to find something quick. What the hell? It was just a lot. And so I was like, well, whatever. And I'm glad I saved my money because you get a good amount, you get paid good. Now, when I got that job, I was working part-time at night, um in Peds, doing home health. So I wasn't working full time, but I had my business floating me. So things were kind of like working out. But once I got back on my feet with that job, I had to literally like save. And I'm glad I did because I lost my job. So that floated me, that helped me, that carried me into July when I started this new job I have now. And y'all know I don't hold nothing back. I'm going to share everything. I'm going to make sure that what I go through, I'm going to share it to help you and give you the tools to help you in your career. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm just so happy to be able to bless other nurses that way. So, excuse me. So, anyway, I need to go take care of myself. I need to go take this. Y'all, my sister, she made this cough syrup from scratch. I got my little personal herbalist, y'all. Like, she be making up our little herbal teas and stuff, child. Because, baby, I don't know what this nasty stuff is going around, but it's just awful. But I miss y'all. I miss our conversations coming on here. But I had to come on here. It was a lot. I'm glad y'all were patient with me. And a lot of y'all just been finding me over on the other platforms because it has been a lot. It has been a lot, but God has brought me through. I am actually like in a very great place. I am in therapy. Y'all make sure y'all get in therapy. Therapy helps. Like, don't be afraid to get in therapy. And I'm just really blessed. I'm really happy. Things are really working out for me and the girls, and everything is lining up right. And so now I can give back, but I'm not like overextending myself no more. I am working on that. I'm not doing it. As nurses and caregivers, that is easy to happen. I am also delegating things. I'm making sure like, my sisters can help me and everything like that because I can't do everything by myself. And I'm making sure like my daddy is good now. He's at the facility where he is. He's oriented to it. Everybody know him. The residents make sure he good. I love how the residents take care of each other there. The residents know me. I know the residents by name, child. It's just good. And I'm like, he's good now, Lorna. You got to take care of you. And so that's what I've been doing, child. I've been taking care of myself. I got to pour into me. And I'm about to go get back in the bed because I'm off today and I'm tired. But I just wanted to come on here, y'all, because I had an awesome call with a client. And then I was like, ooh, you got some time, girl. Before you go back to bed, make sure you go talk to them. And I was going to go live last week, y'all, and talk about me losing my job and everything. And I was just so tired because I'm going to be honest, y'all. I be tired when I get off of work from my remote job. I be busy. Like it be non-stop. It be non-stop. And we have so many, the company is doing well and expanding. And so we have so many opportunities. Hey, y'all, we coming up with some remote positions too. Um, I have to get licensed out in Michigan. Because we have a contract with a company in Michigan helping our patients there. It's just gonna be awesome. Like things are just working out so good, y'all. Things are so good. I'm working on my website, so my website will be back up shortly. I had issues last year. I was doing that, getting that fixed, and then all I happened with my daddy. So everything pretty much got put on pause, and so things are just coming. Things are coming together so good. I have an awesome prayer call. Hey Marlo. Oh, you're in Michigan. Awesome. So yeah, so we're gonna be looking for Michigan nurses. If you're a nurse, let me know. It don't matter if you're RN or LPN. Yeah, so many things. And I was talking to the nurse practitioner that's over our clinical team, and she was like, I need nurses, I need medical assistants. And we also hire non-clinical as well. We y'all and y'all know me. I'm gonna share the wealth. I'm gonna help. Um, that's what I'm about. So, Marlo, you're in Michigan, so make sure you email me. My email, I'll put in the description box. I have two emails. You can hit me up on my mom nurse fashionista at g mom nurse fashionista at yahoo.com. Also, my business email is lbcareercoaching@gmail.com. The letter L, B, career, excuse me, coaching@gmail.com. So I'm finna go back in my bed and get under my cover and turn on my heater because I was in the bed all night the other night, all day yesterday. And so I think I need one more day because I need to be well for tomorrow. So I can talk on this phone when I go back to work. But I miss y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for sticking through, coming on a live. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure you share this with nurses that you know and let them know, like, I'm here. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Make sure you share my videos, share my YouTube channel, because I'm really I'm getting things back started and I want to help y'all. Y'all know I'm here to help everybody. I'm big on helping us. I want us all to win as nurses. I really do. We we in this together, y'all. We in this together. Oh my goodness. All right. Y'all have an awesome day or night wherever you are. If you're watching the replay, thank y'all for sticking through to the end. Thank y'all who are on here. Thank y'all for the likes. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. And y'all make sure that y'all share this video. And remember, as I always say at the end of my videos, no matter what adversities you are going through, you can get through them. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna do another video, but y'all watch my other videos when I talk about my dad. Like, I was very depressed last year. I didn't even really know it. My sister told me yesterday, she was like, when we was just talking about things, she done become my little therapist. And she was like, I was really concerned about you last summer. I didn't know that, y'all. You really think you be walking around this mug like doing a thing, but you really, like, I have had some dark, like, days crying, and that's normal. I don't think I put my grief video up over here, but like, I had to pick my dad up for Christmas, and I it's because, like, this is new for us. So December this year, I am grieving my old dad because my dad now has a brain injury. So my daddy is totally different. He is like a totally different person. He still have his character and his ways, but he's totally different, y'all. And this it's not like, oh, well, he was showing signs of dementia before all of this, but it's not like we lead it into, okay, he has dementia, it's Alzheimer's. It was like a bam of situation that happened. And it's like I'm grieving an old dad. I was putting a video together that I shared on here, and it was a picture that I had put up with my dad with his arms around me and my sister when I was pregnant with the twins. Like, I was like, oh, that's the daddy I miss right there, and I just, oh God, a couple of days ago, I was really, really emotional. But I'm gonna tell you something, I sit in my feelings because my therapist told me she think I had delayed grief, and I didn't realize I had delayed grief, because you have to realize, like, as nurses, like, if something happened to our family member, we put on our nurse hat, and it's bam, 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 and everything was bam, bam, bam. The Sunday at 12:30 when I was sick that day. I was feeling horrible for no reason. I think that was just something spiritual going on with my dad. I had a bad dream about my dad. Actually, the 4:30 that morning, the ER doctor called me about my dad being at the hospital. I had a nightmare that night, and I know what time it was because my daughter had came home from being out that night, and I had a nightmare, and it was related to what happened with my daddy. And when he called me and told me about my daddy being in ICU, I was like, man, I had told the doctor, man, stop playing. I just talked to my daddy like a couple of days ago. I had literally just talked to him. So I don't even know where I was going at with all of that. But at any rate, like, things would hit. Oh, I was talking about delayed grief. So from that time, I called my sisters and my mom on FaceTime. And it's like I had to replay that. I had to replay what happened with my dad, because I had to tell his friends, like his close friends and stuff. I had to tell people what was going on, and I had to call his sponsor, in AA. I'm very big. I always been big on mental health, but this was on a whole nother level. And I don't like mental health, y'all. I never wanted to work in mental health. God is very comical. I promise you, I hated mental health in nursing school. That's all I had on my boards. I had mental health and peace. I love peace. And I said, you know what, God, this is not funny. Ooh, that wasn't funny, but I passed. I did wonderful on my boards, but it was like nonstop from the day I walked into ICU, and the first nurse that I came across was Nurse Carson. I pray for all his nurses all the time because they were so wonderful. They were amazing. And in those moments, I wasn't a nurse. That went out the window, except for when I had to like find out what was going on with him. I had my nurse hat on. I'm not an ICU nurse. I never worked in ICU. So some things were new to me, But like, the nurses were amazing. My cousin on my daddy's side is a nurse too. So she was always at ICU during the day. So I had her nurse eyes and then I had my nurse eyes. So that helped us a lot, and then when he transitioned out of ICU, I hated those nurses except for two, but we had our nurse eyes. But that whole time, y'all, I was in a whole nother headspace. It was like I had delayed grief because the whole time it was bam, bam, bam. This is what's going on. Being on the phone with everybody, I was giving everybody a nurse report. I think my sisters and my mom learned so much from those experiences. I'm like, okay, y'all, here go y'all nurse lesson for the day, and so it was heavy. It was heavy with all of that. And then I had, now I'm a case manager because now he's going from the hospital to rehab hospital. He had to get a G tube. He had to get surgery for that. Had to get stuff done when he had his fractures, surgeries from that. And I was like, oh God, this is a lot. At the same time, y'all, from January to March, my daddy was in the hospital February to March. January to March, I was still working and going to take care of my granny on the weekend. And that was a lot. I don't even know when I rested and stuff. I don't know. That's why a lot of things was a blur. It was like a blur. Then when he was in the hospital, I was taking care of Granny and my daddy, which I talked about that with y'all last year. And the end of 22, when I was going through all that stuff with my granny, and that's when I found out, baby, family do not show up for you, period, and point blank. And I'm gonna say what I say, and I'm gonna mean what I say. Family do not show up for you like you think. You find out who the hell your family and your friends are. Y'all, I lost a lot of people in 24, and that's cool. I'm cool with that because them people now ain't meant for me to be in my life. But family, you find out who the real family is when you go through stuff. I found out who the real people was for my daddy in his life. I found out who the real people really was, who was for my granny. Like, you find out who niggas really is, for real, straight up. You know, y'all know I'm real, and I'm real transparent. Like, I'm very sweet, but when it comes to certain topics, I'm very transparent. As you see, it becomes a whole different Lorna. But you really find out who people are. And so at any rate, I was like, life was just kind of moving fast. It was just a blur. And then I found out about the house situation. I'm like, dang, I'm trying to work, take care of Granny and Daddy, see about Daddy at night. And then when I was coming home, some nights I couldn't go see him. I was too exhausted. So I knew at a certain time after shift change, when the nurses at ICU would be able to talk to me, and I would call them and get a report to see how you doing. I wasn't sleeping because the doctor was like, we have to call you for consent. So if something happened and change at any time of day, we gotta call you. So y'all, I wasn't even sleeping. I wake up like, oh my God, because guess what? I had already missed the call from when they first called me at 4:30 that morning. So then it was like I was never sleeping, and my nervous system was shot, and so I remember walking down the hallway, and one of the twins was like, I must have had fear on my face because she was like, Mama, it's okay. You don't have to be afraid. I was like, huh? She was like, you look so scared. And I was like, okay. Because that's how I was. Because he was in ICU. And I was like, oh God, And the doctors they never said, this is what we feel the outcome is going to be from your daddy. We never had that talk. The nurse and the doctor, basically the nurse, because my cousin would talk to the doctors, but the nurse was like, the first 3 days is the most severe because he has a brain bleed. And this is the most crucial time. And I was like, okay. And that was the most crucial time. But at any rate, then, my job talking about the ending it. And I was like, you know what? Okay, God. Because it was cool because he was now at that time having to go into the facility. And so since he was out of because at the health, not health, but at the rehab hospital, he couldn't go to any outside appointments. He could only go to his surgical, like his arm. He had to go to the OR, to the ortho doctor. So, but during that time, so once he got out of rehab hospital, I had to now take him to all his appointments at the VA. And you're talking about somebody with a brain bleed. I mean, brain injury. Oh God, y'all. It was, then I was sitting here like, we will be at appointments, and I had to do the appointments early in the day because y'all know how sundowners is. And they have my daddy. Oh God, the facility is amazing. Like the doctors and the nurse practitioners, they got him on a good med regimen. So he don't have sundowners like that now. But y'all, oh God, if we would be out too late, like my daddy, he would be like, he was like, Lorna, I gotta drive. And I'm like, Daddy, you can't drive. Like, you can't. And he would be adamant, y'all. And I didn't know how to handle that jump. The first time he did it, I just called my mom and them on FaceTime, and I was like, "You want to talk to mama? You want to talk to your daughter's on the phone?" You know, he was like, "I don't want to talk to them." Like, y'all know how brain injury patients are, and like, you know, they sundown. Oh my God, it was just, I was like, God, it's too much. You must think I'm really strong, because this is too much. Whew. And then I kept him on the phone. And then we got to the facility. He didn't want to get out the car. He wanted to stay with me. And then that was the thing too, y'all. Like, the facility was like, your dad wants to leave all the time. He thinks you're coming to get him every day. Because I was going up there every day. I was up there every day with him, taking appointments, just seeing him. It was like it was a lot going on. So from April to July, I'm glad that I didn't have a job, because I don't know how I would have moved, y'all. I had to move that house and clean that house. And thank you, God, for my mama. She stayed on the phone with me till after midnight, you know, and that's when my daddy memory, like, he still remembered some things, because I was telling him at one of his ortho appointments, I was like, Daddy, I was up so late the other night after midnight. And he was like, well, so and so ain't come and help you. And I was like, who? You know, I wanted to see, I like to, you know, work his brain. And when he told me, I was like, oh, he remembers stuff, but it's in and out, you know, things are in and out for him. So I was like, no, he didn't help me. I was like, I'm not with him. But, you know, his brain, you know, his memory is kind of, you know, but I got him with a good neuro doctor, an awesome neuro doctor. I have been really on top of his care. And then the whole legal side of things was very overwhelming for me. That was a long process too. Once I got him established at the facility, now we have to deal with the legality of things. And that was a lot. And so I was like, I did have a delayed grief, because everything was just bam, bam, bam. It was never no time to breathe. I never had time to breathe. And so this lady that I worked at the hospital with, I ran into her when I was going to see my dad at the hospital. And she told me on the elevator, she said, Lorna, you got to breathe. Like, you got your daughter to help you. Thank God for my oldest, y'all. Ooh, because my oldest was holding it down when I was taking care of my granny and my daddy. But whew, thank God. And then, you know, I had my sisters, I had my mom and stuff. They have been holding me down. And y'all, my mom and daddy has been divorced over 15 years. Let me tell you something, man. If you want, my mama is the real G. She has been holding it down. You hear me? Holding it down. Like, I'm talking about supportive. My mama wasn't handling any of this stuff. I had to do that. You know, I was always handling stuff for my daddy, even before all this happened. But she is the real freaking freaking G. She is she the goat. So anyway, so then fast forward, I decided to get into stress management classes. That helped tremendously. Taught me how to ground myself. And then I got into therapy after that. And it was a good flow. I'm glad I did the stress management classes first, and then I got into therapy, and it's helped me a lot. And I'm just in a really good place. And y'all, I'm in a really good place because I could talk to y'all. And I'm like going through the events that I forgot even happened. And it was just like a lot. I don't even know how I even got through this. But I know how. When I say I don't know how, but I really know it was God. It was God. It was a lot of days I was like, God, you got to help me. It was days I couldn't pray for myself. You know, I still had to be a mama. My kids had surgeries. One of my twins had 2 surgeries during all this time. I literally, in May, I had my birthday. On the 16th, my oldest graduated from college. Thank you for the light. My oldest graduated from college. And then that morning, and I was so upset, y'all, because they scheduled my daughter's surgery the same time as my daughter's graduation. And I was like, oh my God. I was so hurt. Like, I can't go to her graduation. She understood it, but I'm like, she graduating from college, like, cosmetology school. I need to see this. This is major. And then something happened with the surgeon, had to change the time. So literally, as soon as the graduation ended, we was going straight to the hospital. I had to do, I had her to take care of. In May, I was still literally, that next day, I had to go take my daddy to the doctor, his appointments at the VA. And I was just nonstop, nonstop, nonstop. But I got up, you know what I'm saying? I was like, ooh, on my birthday, I am staying in the bed all day. It's my birthday, because the next day I got a graduation and surgery, you know, for my daughter. I gotta stay in the bed. And my daughter's like, no, mama, you need to go out. So I went to lunch with my mama, and then she was like, you need to go out with your friend. And I went out with my friend, and I'm glad I did. And I had an awesome time. It was just good to just breathe. I was able to just breathe. And y'all, from me putting up, y'all know, if you were on my other platforms, I always tag people because I be wanting y'all to know where I get my cheap fashions from. Y'all know I'm big on fashion, and it was Rose's discount stores, and they hit me up like a couple of weeks later, and it was like, we would like to collab with you. We love your style. And it was supposed to be a one-time thing. And every month for the rest of the year of 2024, I had paid partnerships with them. And it was because I decided to just get up and put on some clothes. And it was because I had a hot flash because, child, y'all know I had a hysterectomy in 22, which I've been doing amazing, y'all. I got to do a video on that. I get a lot of women commenting on that video asking me about my updates. So I need to do a video on that. But that has been amazing. I have no issues. Oh, thank you, Mia. Thank you so much. Thank you. And yeah, so I know everybody has been through things in 2024. Like your world was turned upside down. But if I can't tell you anything, it's to keep going. Like I'm telling you to whew, you have to keep going. Like you have to keep going. I look at times when, and now when I want to cry, not in this moment because I'm emotional because of what God has brought me through. Like sometimes it was songs that I would listen to and worship to and cry to, and I listen and I'd be like, dang, I would have never freaking thought I would have. I never saw anything past February. I couldn't tell you what Thanksgiving looked like. I couldn't tell you what Christmas looked like. I couldn't tell you I would be in a new place. Everything. I started off January. I started off fasting in 23, November and December, and in January. Fasting, not from social media, nothing, but fasting and just focusing like on the word and studying and making it my business to study the word. I didn't realize, y'all, that that set me up for February with my daddy because I don't even know mentally where I would have been at if I did not prepare. And let me tell y'all, 2023 was awful too because we were sick, like very sick. Every month, it was surgeries with my other daughter, and we were sick. We got COVID again, and when I get sick, I can't work. So that's a major thing for me. If my kids are sick, I cannot work. I got to pay bills. It was a very hard year. It was a very hard year. I lost my faith in February. I mean, in 2023. I lost my faith. I was coming on here talking to y'all to encourage y'all because I was trying to encourage myself because I had lost my faith. Like, I didn't understand why things was happening the way it was. And I said, you know what, Lorna, you're gonna have to really, really like surrender. And I surrendered. August, I went home and I surrendered it all. I got on my knees literally and prayed and I surrendered it. And things started turning around. I got sick though in October. I said, oh, I already knew you was gonna do that, God. I knew you was gonna do that. That's a test. I got sick. Oh God, blessed the people that have vertigo. I had vertigo for 2 weeks straight. I could not drive. Like everything was tilted. Even in my sleep, I didn't sleep because everything was tilted, moving. Oh God, it was just awful. And I couldn't work. I was working in, but I couldn't go to work taking care of a patient like that. And so like I was missing out on money, missing out on work. I said, okay, God, excuse me, I'm gonna keep trusting you. And then my business started picking up then. And I was like, okay, I see you. Excuse me. And then I got hired by HEDIS. And I was like, okay, I see you. Like everything started falling into place because I surrendered things to God. And then I said, Lorna, remember you had to do that in 23. And so June, I had like a breakdown. The day I was breaking down, literally my sister called me and was like, I'm gonna get the kids. You need to do a staycation. I talk about that. I did a staycation here and I had an awesome time to myself for a weekend. And that's when I was like, I surrender things to you. And when I told God, I surrender things to you, I'm giving it to you. Because, as nurses, y'all, we sit here and I'm sitting here like, they better be doing this with my daddy. They better be doing that. Where's this? Like, I was like that. And I wanted to I was bringing him home with me. I don't know how the hell I thought I was going to do that. My daughter, my mama, my sisters was like, you're not bringing daddy home with you. You're not bringing papa home. I was like, but I am. I'm bringing him home with me. Y'all, I could not find, when I was looking for places, I couldn't find four bedrooms. Like I was looking for places where I could have a room for him by himself. And then if people needed to visit him, he'll have his privacy. I couldn't find that. I couldn't find that. And I was just finding places that was perfect for me and the girls. I could not find that. So I was like, okay, God. And then, a lot of places didn't want to accept him. And I was like, oh, God. But those places that didn't want to accept him, y'all, they ended up being some awful places. Later this year, a couple of months ago, we found out, and I was like, oh God, thank you for deny. See that when God deny you of things, that those are blessings, y'all. Those are blessings. When God deny you, I don't care what it is you want in your life. If it's in your love life, your friendships, your family ships, your job, your whatever, anything in your life. If God is denying you of that, it's for a reason, y'all. It is for a freaking reason. And those denials, I thank God for them. And so even the jobs I was putting in, I'm glad God denied me from those because I needed the job I have now. This job is so it's so amazing. It's very good. It's God sent. So anyway, I went away and on that weekend, and that's when things kind of turned around for me. But during that weekend, I had a lot of stress going on. I was hurting. I was in a lot of pain. I couldn't relax, y'all, in the hotel. It was like, girl, you gotta chill. I didn't really get on social media because I just wanted to hear God. And I went out, y'all. I went out. I took myself out. I went to eat. I love live bands. And then I had went to a cigar lounge, y'all, and it was just everything. I got dressed real cute, child, met some beautiful black men, and just I love all men, but I'm just saying, I just yep, I sure did. I had a time. Ladies, y'all better take yourself out and y'all better love on yourself and pour into you. And that just radiated like my energy and everything radiated. And I was like, okay, girl, you good. And I was good. And I started going in therapy and I was good. And things have started turning around slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Things are good with my daddy. I'm not like worried. And when I see the number from the facility come on my phone, I be like, oh God. Because it was a time when they were calling me about him, like, hey, we can't control your dad. He wants to leave. And I'm like trying to talk to him on the phone and he just being all honorary, not wanting to talk to me. And it was a time when they were like, we're gonna have to maybe look for somewhere else for him to stay, y'all. And I'm like, oh God, come on. Excuse me. I was like, come on. This is too much. This is too much, Lord. I can't deal with this. I got him somewhere. I can't deal with this. And so then something was like, just sit on it. Don't worry about it. Don't stress yourself out about it. And I'm glad I didn't because I talked to the social worker. She was like, maybe that was just, he's not like that anymore. I think he was just cycling and we got his meds together and everything is good and he good. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you. He is good now, y'all. Make sure y'all leave a like when y'all come in. This video was literally about working remote, but God felt that I needed to share this with y'all because when you get down and things just come and happen to you out of nowhere, you got to keep going. You just got to keep going and feel your feelings, y'all. I was Christmas Day, I was going to pick up my daddy and so many things had hit me. Like it hit me like, girl, you're driving to go to the facility to pick your daddy up. And then I went to my sister's house to pick up his gifts. And, I was just emotional, expressing how I feel. And she was like talking to me, validating my feelings. Don't feel like, to those who really love you, don't feel like you have to hold your feelings in. People who really care, and they want you to express yourself. I learned that in therapy, and I learned that from my sister who is in therapy. Like, you can express yourself. Do not hold that stuff in. And sometimes, y'all, I get triggered in the most unopportune times. And I just have to pray through it because I cannot express what I'm feeling in that moment. I may be talking to a patient. Um, I was talking to a patient and she was like, I just want to end it all. I was like, you want me to call 988 for you? And she's like, no, I just want to continue to talk to you. I had struggled. I struggled in that moment. And I said, God, you got to help me. And he helped me. And I was good. I was so proud of myself. That's what I mean by inopportune time. I cannot be in my feelings in that time because I had to be there for my patient. But I got through it and then I released it. And it was a hard day after that. And I released it. It was nobody here. My daughter wasn't here. She was going to class and my kids was in school and I was able to release it. I'm talking about release it, like yell it out, release it out. And I think that was a turning point for me too because I had never done that. I had been crying and crying, crying, but I let it out. Like I'm talking about screamed it out. I screamed it out, y'all. I got it out. I got it out and I said, Lord, somebody could hear me and think I got an issue. I don't care, whatever. I had to get it out, y'all, because I had never got it out. All of the stuff I was holding in, I got it out. And then, my therapist was teaching me about just sometimes you gotta hug yourself real tight, and then you just gotta, oh, and you just gotta let it out. And we had did that in one of our sessions, and it felt good because I was in those moments, I was very irritated because it was just so much going on. And you got to let that stuff out. And you got to feel your feelings. So on Christmas, I felt my feelings and everything was good. It was an amazing day with my kids. It was just my kids and my dad. It was just amazing. And I'm so proud of you, Mia, for letting it out. You got to let it out. You do. Because that junk will eat you up. It will eat you up. Y'all, I had started having stomach pains and stuff. I haven't had stomach pains since I had my hysterectomy in 2022. 23, whatever, 22. God, the years go by so fast. And it was because of stress. I was holding it in. You cannot hold that stuff in. It will eat you. Your stress, what mama says, stress will mess your innards up. It will mess you the freak up. Don't hold that stuff in. Get therapy. Get somebody that you trust, like you really trust, and you could talk to. And get a therapist. Get a therapist. I love therapy, and let me tell you something, baby. Therapists will get you all the way together. Cause my therapist done got me together a couple of times, and I loved it. I liked it a lot. I liked that. Like, she got me together. But you have to let it out. Let your emotions out. And I'm here now. And I've been grieving. And I grieved the other day. I was my sister had shared like her moments of 2024. 2024. And one of the pictures, I put that video up. One of the pictures was me. I never visited my daddy during the day. I would visit him at night and let my sisters go visit him during the day. And my thing was, who somebody had their eyes on daddy. Because, I was like, I can't, it's not like I could call him. Like when he would be in the hospital years before for different things, I call him, see how he doing, see what the doctor's doing, but I couldn't do that. You could call the floor. Sometime not in ICU, you could talk to somebody, but when he got to the other floors, it wasn't the same. I couldn't call him and get an update. Some of these nurses ain't even have an update for me. I literally had to I was like, listen, the one nurse, I said, I need you to open the chart, like go in and tell me what the plan is for my daddy, because they didn't know. They didn't know what was going on with him. I'm like, what is the freaking plan, dog? Like, they had a plan up there on ICU. What is y'all plan down here? And then while I was talking to her, that's when the lady who I work with that I told y'all I saw, she was like, Lorna. And then guess what? The nurse, she did a whole baby. She turned around and started getting herself together. But why were you doing it? This how you treat your patients and their families? So that floor, when he was on that floor, was horrible. And then he had some good nurses. Like, he had 2 good nurses that were good. That this guy, he was really good. He started seeing a transition in my dad. He was like, oh, he's saying something. Because daddy would respond to me by just saying, like I do his devotions. Every time I saw him, I prayed over him. I sung over him. I'm like, daddy, we're going to do our devotion. Because I don't care about you because I could tell like when he would be aggravated, but then again, I didn't know if that was the brain injury. So, I'd be like, we're doing our devotions and we'll do our devotion. And then the nurse is like, is he singing? Like, my daddy started singing hymns, y'all. It was just amazing. That was the first thing I heard him say, other than sister. He had called me sister when I walked in one day, but other than that. And that picture that my sister had took, anyway, that picture, I was looking down at my phone sitting next to my daddy. She took a picture of me. I didn't know till she sent it to us. She put that picture up on the, she put that picture up on Facebook or whatever. And it just brought back everything. And I sat there and I sat and I grieved and I sat in my feelings. Because usually I'd be like, we ain't doing this today. I did not do that. I sat in my feelings and I felt it, because you have to feel your feelings, and it is nothing wrong. It is nothing. Emotions, it's no bad emotions. Our response to our emotions determining what we do when we're depressed and when we have anxiety and when we're sad and angry. The reaction to that is what could determine if it's bad, the outcome, but not your emotions are not bad. We don't have bad emotions, So anyway, yeah, that that picture it just did something for me. But it just showed the goodness of God, because despite the brain injury and he's incapacitated now and all of that, he's still up and walking and eating. He still got his G2, but he's still up and walking and eating, and he still have his same character and everything like that. So that's a freaking blessing. Like, that's a blessing in freaking disguise. Let me read Miss Mia been responding back. Thank y'all for those who y'all are holding it down in here in the chat. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. That's not where this video was going, but God felt that I needed to share that. And I hope what I share If it don't, excuse me, if it don't help you today, that'll help you tomorrow. But Mia said, praise God, I lost my dad. I'm so sorry. I lost my dad at the end of 2022 and my world stopped. I'm finally ready to start living again. This is so encouraging. We have so many commonalities. LPN. Oh, you're starting HEDIS. Oh, girl, go ahead. Oh, you're licensed in a lot of states. That's so amazing. Oh, congrats to you. First of all, congrats. First of all, I send my comfort to you and prayers to you during the times when you feel like you can't go on, and the times that you need the endurance and to, the motivation to keep going. And use those happy memories to keep you going and keep your dad's memories alive. But I send my condolences. Sometimes you don't know what to say. I hear people who are grieving saying, I don't want you to say that to me, but that's what I sincerely feel. I really feel like in the moments that you need God the most, and you need the comfort, and you need God's arms to wrap around you because you don't know what else to do, and you need the strength to just go. I pray that God gives you that in those moments. I really, really do, because in the moments like when I had to leave my dad, it felt like when I was leaving my girls at NICU. It was the same feelings. And I said, girl, you left them babies in NICU, and the nurses and the doctors took care of them. And God, I would just ask God to wrap his arms around me, because I didn't want to get back into postpartum depression. I had postpartum depression with my daughter before them, my middle daughter, and I did not want to get back there. So I was like, you got to comfort me, God. I need you to comfort me in these moments. And so I pray that that's what God will do for you as well as other people. We do have a lot of commonalities. I think you commented on one of my other videos before too. Whenever y'all comment, I try to respond to y'all comments and everything. But if y'all need to, y'all can always email me. If you just want to send me a comment, you don't want to put it on here for everybody to see, you can always email me at themomnursefashionista@yahoo.com. But this has been a amazing hour. This is what I miss with y'all. I miss this so much. It has been an amazing hour. I'm going to get in the bed. Well, I gotta go ahead and cook for these children. Child, fit something. I gotta fit something to eat for them. But anyway, that's mom life, right? But it's been an amazing hour. Thank y'all for sticking through this hour. Remember that you can hit the links in my description box if you want to work with me. I have the link to work with me. I have the link to my HEDIS course. Again, congrats, Mia, on HEDIS. That is freaking dope. That is so amazing. The possibilities are endless for us nurses. This is our year for nurses if you want to transition in your career. And I mean, even if you work the bedside and you want to go in another area, this is the year. This year. Y'all make sure y'all hit me up. I love y'all. Have an awesome, amazing day or night, wherever you are. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Real soon. Bye, y'all. Make sure y'all turn on y'all notifications too. Bye. Uh-oh.